Hey guys, how you doing? This is JP Sarikolia coming to you once again with another episode of Age of Heroes, my podcast. And of course, we're starting the week. And first of all, I want to congratulate the Patriots and all the Boston fans for their win last night at the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, it was not a great game. It was a boring game. Not many scores there. And of course, a lot of people hate Tom Brady. So of course, it was very contended on that. Throughout the day, you're going to hear a lot of people, of course, mocking the Patriots and, of course, slamming the Rams for their loss. You know how it is. People have their own views of things. But in any case, I congratulate Boston fans. I'm not, I would say, a Patriots fan or, Tom Brady fan. But, of course, I respect his achievements. He's definitely, I would say, the best quarterback pretty much now in the NFL. And of course, there were not that many trailers in the Super Bowl, unfortunately, but it was expected. They mentioned this before. Of course, nowadays with social media, with YouTube, of course, the companies don't need to pay millions and millions of dollars for, just to have a trailer on the Super Bowl, and they save themselves the money. You can simply post it at no cost to you, of course, just the cost of the production of the trailer, but at no cost, and just play it on YouTube and people, go crazy about it, and you don't have to pay millions and millions of dollars just for an ad that is just going to pass for a couple of seconds on the Super Bowl. So of course there were not that many. That's the way it is, and that's how things are changing now. But other than that, the halftime with Maroon 5, of course, a lot of people are hating on that too. It was just a game. It was just a simple game, a very boring game, I can say that. But that's besides the point. That was yesterday, and today is different. Today I'm starting this podcast, and I want to get a bit personal today with my podcast. It seems that I always get personal here, but I really want to do it today. And I want to talk about how I feel. This is my third week. I'm starting my third week as pretty much as a self-employed YouTuber, doing my own thing. And the last 2 weeks have been hard. I can tell you that. It's been a bit tough and rough because there's a lot of learning to do. There's a lot of things that I didn't, I would say, consider before doing it. I'm a type of man that I believe in faith. I'm a faith-driven man, so everything I do, I put it first of all in God's hand, and I jump on things. I like to jump on things because that's my nature. I feel that that's what life is all about. Sometimes you have to take the leap of faith and do things. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to go through challenges and, of course, through difficulties that come along with it. And one of those challenges, of course, is frustration. I feel that the last 2 weeks have been a lot of a learning curve, a lot of experiences, learning things and that, getting frustrated with a lot of things. I've been working very hard in the last 6 months to get to this place. As you know, this channel's been up for 6 years. I've been through ups and downs through this channel. It's always been like a hobby. It was never really, I will have all my full attention on it. And now that my full attention is here, of course, there is a lot of difficulty on how to really set up a channel that people are satisfied with or what people like. And I was getting really frustrated. And I think in this case, the last drop pretty much on that was last week. I did a video reaction for Hobbs and Shaw movie that is coming this summer, which I'm very excited for. So I uploaded the video, created the video. Creating videos is time consuming. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort just to produce a video. Normally for every minute of footage, you have to put like probably 30 minutes of work. So that tells you how much it adds up. So when you have a long extended video, it can take all day. Some of my book reviews might take me all day just to put all together, edit all together, from the moment I have to come up with the material, the moment that I have to set up everything, the cameras and all that stuff, from the moment that I shoot things to the moment that I record. Then I have to edit the audio, edit the parts, the video, make it nice, and then upload it to YouTube. And then, of course, customize everything, the letterings, all that kind of stuff, put the different ads and links and all that kind of stuff. So that can take a whole process, an entire day just to come up with a video. So that kind of gives you a picture. If you're not a video producer or somebody that does that here on YouTube, it's really time consuming, particularly if you want to do things the right way. Years ago when I started, all I used was my cell phone. full of mistakes. If you look back at my first videos, it was very simple to do. You shoot it like that and then just cut it and just upload it. That was it. But of course, the game has changed and things are more professional now. And in order to keep people engaged and more with your videos, you have to, really give people what they want, give them something that is more professional looking, and people stay. And I think that I've been changing and learning, and that's a learning process. It means to kind of go back to school, learning, from professionals, from people, from materials, how to operate different, even the in this case, the software that I used to record this video. All of that is a process, just the audio itself. I have to clean the audio, make sure that it works fine. So it's a lengthy process, and I'm learning with it. And it's very fun, it's exciting, but at the same time, it's time consuming. And sometimes that time can also be frustrating. And going back to what I was saying with, in this case, Hubs and Shaw. So I uploaded the video, everything came out. And then like a couple hours later, I get a notification from YouTube where I got demonetized for the video reaction. I think that was the last straw for me. I felt so upset about it. First of all, because I believe that you're promoting these films. Yeah, they have the trailers, but all this buzz that is created around reaction videos, people are talking about it. You talk about all of this. Of course, that's just free promotion. You're not getting paid for doing that. Of course, you get ads revenue, depending on how many views you get, which is very minimal if you only get a couple of viewers. And all of a sudden you get demonetized by YouTube, by these companies that they just, they just don't want you to do it. But yes, they want you to talk about it, which is really sad, because it really showcases the greed of the business, in this case, the Hollywood and the way these companies operate. You are giving them free promotion. So I got really frustrated because, you put so much effort just to come up with that reaction video, I have to put it together. It took me a couple of hours just to come up with the whole thing before I upload it. And pretty much half the morning just to spend on that, just to do that, the fruits of my labor, just to kind of go to waste. So I felt so uncomfortable. I was upset about it, and I said, you know what? I'm done with that. I'm done with reaction videos. In the last 6 months, I've been working really hard to put up a lot of different materials. And everything I have done is because, of course, it was everything to bring me to this moment where I'm able to do it full time. So in the meantime, because I was working, it was easier to do reaction videos, and a lot of those reaction videos I did with my phone, which it was easier. But now that I'm doing it with my computer, it takes more work, and I wanted to do more professionally. It takes a little more time, but it's just because you have to do it better. But throughout this 6 months, most of my videos have been demonetized. The only things that are not demonetized are like by book reviews or any other reviews, but most of anything that has footage for trailers and stuff like that, all of that has been demonetized. So there's no money in it, and there's no money. I didn't make any money. And when we're talking about money, you're talking about, I don't have so many viewers. I don't have thousands of viewers. I don't have millions of viewers. So technically all I'm making is maybe a cent, 2 cents, 3 cents per video, or even 10, 20 cents per video, which is really good. So I'm not making any money for all the effort that I'm doing. So it is sad, it is sad because you put a lot of effort. And of course I have a Patreon account, but most people seem not to care much about it, which, I respect. People are entitled to do what they want with their money. And this service and technically is free, although nothing is free in life. So I was so disappointed, and my heart dropped. I felt like, man, I made a mistake to do this. I make a mistake just coming to do this. I had a good job. I didn't need this as an income because I did have a good job. A good job. I was making good money. I was the biggest provider in this home. Now, of course, we lost that because I'm doing this. Of course, I prepare for this. I prepare in the sense of, finances with savings, and, my wife has a good income. So we make some cuts in some of our expenditures and all that stuff. But I felt like, man, I made a big mistake. I can simply go back and do my job that way I was doing it. Not a problem. I can take the job back again and they'll hire me on the spot. They didn't want to let me go. But then I realized life is full of frustration. And sometimes the things that we want the most, they take some effort. And, you cannot really change the world, change people's hearts. I cannot change your heart. I cannot make people give me $1, $2 a month or through Patreon if they don't want to. And if you don't want to, it's fine. I'm okay with that. So, but if I'm trying to please people, I realized this, and I talked to my wife, and I went to church yesterday. And the preacher was preaching, and it was impactful for my life because all along I've always believed that this is my calling to do what I'm doing right now. At least this is the start for whatever is to come. And talking to my wife, and talking to just talking to myself, really looking at things, I realized that sometimes the mindset that we have also, or the way we look at our goals, and the way the culture dictates the way we should live and what success means, sometimes we let that really stain our view, really rob us from really looking at life the way it should be. That success is not all about how many viewers you have, or how much money you have in the bank, or how much money you make a week, or how much money you make through deals and businesses, or the size of your home, or anything else. That sometimes life, the success of life is just the joy and peace and happiness that I've talked about it many times before. But just because I talk about it doesn't mean that sometimes I don't feel down, or I feel depressed, or I feel that, I haven't accomplished much, or I feel that, no matter what I do, it seems that everything fails what I really want to do in my life. And I'm trapped into this vicious cycle of repeat, rinse and repeat, doing the same thing over and over. And then I said, you know what? It really struck me. And I said, you know what? I'm not here to please people. And it's never going to be me. I'm not going to be here just for the numbers. I'm doing this because I love to do this. And if this provides a means for me to success, to live, then by all means. So I'd make a decision. I'm going to do what I love to do in this channel. I don't get paid for it. A lot of people don't. I only have one patron, and I thank that patron very much for the support. But I don't owe anything to anybody. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm loving it, every moment of it. But I decided to make changes. I'm going to strict out all the schedules and things that I was doing because, you come with this mindset. I come from many years of working in the field, working with companies, where there's always a goal in mind and there's a challenge, and, you follow the steps to get, from point A to point B, and you follow those steps. The company dictates that. But this is not that. This is my heart that is being poured out into what I'm doing. So some days, I'm telling you this, I'm not going to have a schedule. The podcast, I might do one podcast a week, or might just do 2 podcasts. Perhaps I just do the podcast on Monday. It's not going to be at whatever hour. It's going to be whatever is done. I'll do the podcast and upload it. You can always go back and watch the video at any time throughout the week. You can always download it in your, through the different iTunes, Stitcher, whatever, so you have access to it. And I'm going to talk about these things that I care about, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm done with the news videos and all the trailer reactions and all that stuff and all of that. I'm done because technically I'm not making anything from it, and it's just news, and I'm a newscaster. I'm a reviewer. I'm a person that reviews stuff. I'm a person that allowed to talk. This is a talk show, technically, this podcast. And I like to talk about things that really matter to people. So I may have the podcast sometimes. I want to concentrate on what I like, which is comic books and reviewing comic book stories, which technically is the biggest. I'm still up to this day. Though some of my oldest book reviews, I'm still bringing profit or making some money. At least I make a little bit of money here and there with those videos. After all these years, people still watch them, and they keep watching them and watching them and watching them. Those are the most sought out every week. When I go through my statistics, I can see that those are the highest. The analytics show those videos as the highest every week. So even the oldest was like 5 years ago, and I'm still producing, and still the most sold out and most watched my videos. The Watchmen review from the in this case the Absolute is also the second most watched of all. Unfortunately, I don't make any money of that because I have some footage there for the movie. So of course I got dinged by YouTube again, this way that they do things. So I don't make any money out of that, but it's the biggest. People like to watch that one. So, and that's one of the reasons why I decided, I'm going to do things my way, and I'm going to do it the way I want him to do it. So you're going to have book reviews. I want to do comic books. I love to talk about movies, particularly the movies, animation, manga. I like to talk about stuff like that. So we'll see much more of that. I'm going to review more stuff. And I'm going to do also, I want to do retro gaming, but more like reviewing retro gaming. So all games and review them, and I have that because this is what it is. This is JP Sari Reviews. It's always been about reviews. And statues perhaps once in a while, although right now because of the situation I'm not buying any statues, but I still have some statues and action figures. I have a lot of action figures, things like that, collectibles. I can still review and talk about it, but I'm gonna concentrate on what I really care about. And you know what? Sometimes my goal right now is to have a video a day, at least throughout 6 days a week or 5 days a week. But I'm telling you one thing: sometimes you might not get a video. I might only do 2 or 3. I'm going to concentrate more on quality rather than quantity. Yeah, the last 6 months I've been doing it like crazy, and that's what happened with me on Friday. I got so frustrated because actually I produced 3 videos on that day. And, it's time consuming. I'm getting up at the same time I've always got up. I've always get up early in the morning, very early in the morning. I do what I need to do, get the stuff done and start, and then of course right now I'm going pretty much, it's past midnight and I'm still, editing videos because I'm working and I don't have time for anything else, not even for my life, and that affects me, my temper, affects me, my relationship with my wife, with my children, with my daughter, and everything else and what I want to do with my life. If I wanted just to live like that, I would stay on my job, making good money. And I will just simply stay there and I'll just do my 8 hours a day and come back home and, be dissatisfied, excited, not accomplishing anything other than just what I'm doing at my job. But this is not the reason why I left that job. And this is not the reason why I'm doing this. So, you're welcome to be part of this. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm not forcing anybody to support me financially. You do it of your own heart. But make no mistake, it really is an effort, to do things. And people, want reviews done. But when they leave you, they go to somebody else that does it. So, I'm going to do what is in my heart to do. And this channel has always been in my heart to do. And I love what I do. And I love that, some people get something out of it. And sometimes I talk about life, and I get passionate about what I talk about when I talk about comics. And, you're never going to find other reviewers like mine. I'm telling you that. And I'm not being, I'm not bragging about it. But most people go over the things and they just tell you things and that. But my reviews are personal, are intimate. Before I talk about things, I give you as much insight as possible. I do the research if necessary. If I don't know the artists or I don't know the writers or the people involved in the process, I research them to find out who they are, what they do, they still alive or not. And of course, I talk about them, about their work. And to me, it's all about not only emphasizing the books, which is a business for DC, Marvel, or the other company, but emphasizing the people that were involved in the process of creating this, marvelous art. And those are the real unsung heroes. Those are the ones that deserve all the praise. So once again, thanks for listening. Again, I'm going to do the podcast perhaps on Monday. Mondays will be probably its perfect day for podcasts. There's not much going on after coming from the weekend, and it talks about the stuff that happened through the weekend. But, you might see 1 or 2 a week. You might see more, and we'll see. But I'm going to concentrate, and sometimes you might not see any videos. You'll see some videos. My goal is to have a video a day. But the podcast is going to be slowed down because technically I don't make any money with the podcast, and I need to concentrate on those things too, in order to have more viewerships. It means that I have to concentrate on the things that I'm good at and the reason why you follow me in the first place. So once again, God bless you, and I'll talk to you again. Have a great week.